What is going on, good people? I'm here with Adam Peterson. We have Sense 5 Wood Coatings. Changed the name. We just got done talking about that. Niching down. Um, in the description, you said that you're looking to get to that leadership level where you can start maybe delegating, creating some systems. You've built something really good so far. Have you been doing most of the work on your own up until this point?
I do most of the specialty work on my own. I do have a crew that helps me do preparation for that, and so I can basically go in and have everything for the most part ready for me to go.
Nice. Nice. So cabinet prep, and obviously, I'm sure you're doing mostly cabinets.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cabinet
cool.
railings, features, and stuff like that.
So you're a painter by trade, man. You're more, would you say that you're more of a technician or business owner? What would be the percentage split?
I'd say I'm still mostly hands-on. Like
Okay.
I run the business enough that I can keep, 2 or 3 people busy with me, but I'm not always running around doing things. I typically try to quote virtually to save a lot of time.
Yep.
I understand that's something that I don't want to continue doing because I do tend to have a high drop rate when it comes to until that I quote over the phone.
Yeah.
So I do want to be able to release myself more from site. I've done that to an extent, but not totally yet.
So where do you think that starts? I mean, I guess my first question would be like, you've been doing it this way for so long. I mean, like when you think of systems, like how do you honestly feel like you're going to be able to not paint?
I think I need someone that is at least closer to my level when it comes to being able to repair things, and just being able to problem solve on the fly. Because I've got painters that have been painting for 10 years, but they lack a lot of the problem solving skills that it takes to handle different things like such as contamination or like big gouges and things like. So there's certain techniques and stuff that they don't quite have, or maybe even don't even want to develop.
So when it comes to that, like it all comes down to really recruiting. And, if you reference old ways of like finding help, like that might be your only reference point. Have you ever actively like sat down and like put together a recruiting campaign for help, or has help always just come to you? Like, has it always been like, hey, I know a guy, or I seen a guy at a job site or at the paint store? Like, what is your process for recruiting talent?
I actually a few of the people that I have around have been through a recruiting campaign.
Okay.
And I interviewed them and everything. So, I have a few more techniques now after listening to some episodes on your podcast, but I could definitely use some help on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first thing I'm going to tell you is like, you need to lower your standards, because no one is going to care more about this business, the product, the quality than you, unless they also have profit and have the chance to lose money if they don't perform well. That's just generally how this is going to go. So option one is to find subcontractors like yourself that own a business and have a standard that they want to uphold for their name and their brand. And if they don't perform well, they lose money. That's a great motivator. And with subcontractors, you can do that. So out of the gate, go ahead.
Typically what I do, yeah.
Right. But then that has its drawbacks as well, which I'm sure you recognize too. So, the second option is employees. Now, the first thing I would do, and I don't know, do you have a shop?
I do have a shop, yes.
You do have a shop. So what's great is you can isolate the training to a controlled environment, right? So that's the good news, because the doors and the items that can be removed from the kitchen, you control that. That's the beautiful thing. You have so much leverage with a shop, because again, if you mess up there, customer's not down your throat watching you, right? You have a team that you can to nurture, right? So let's just start with cabinet coatings. You have two different elements here. It sounds like you figured out a way to get your kitchens prepped.
Yeah, I've got a system down. I was lucky enough to be trained by someone that has spent 15 years in just cabinet coatings.
Okay.
And overall about 30 years in the painting industry. So
okay.
I learned from one of the best. And
you want to drop a name? Who was it?
Rob Custom Coatings.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I haven't met him, but sounds like a great guy.
I mean, he even tells me, I mean, at this point, I would probably end up surpassing him, even just without even just technology, but in general, just being so early in the industry.
I love that because, like, dude, like, I'm not like, here's the deal. How can we get you out of the production to where you can use the second level of value, which is your managerial skills, right? So when we separate levels of value, the first level of value and be able to provide that value is your physical labor, your hands. So you're already thinking, man, like, how can I take what I learned and provide value to others? And that's to your employees, that's to your customers. So here's the deal. Like, at the end of the day, the first step is documenting how to do this task. Okay. And this session is only going to be as good as what you give me in return. I can't help you otherwise. Do you have an SOP outlined of how to prep a kitchen from start to finish?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's I put it inside of all.
Does it include pictures and videos?
No, not yet.
Okay. So the degree of which you put into that SOP will be the degree of which you get out of it, right? So there's some great programs for this. Trainual, even if you want to use Company Cam, that's pretty good. But if you take the time to make the videos, you only have to teach it once instead of someone who comes off the street who's never been in this environment before reading a document that can't visualize it. You know, but if you put together a couple videos, I mean, here, this is how we mask a door. This is how we mask a countertop. This is how we mask the floors, just so they can see it. That's step one, right? I mean, I think you have to also understand that there's got to be some form of apprenticeship program that happens within your organization, especially when it comes to fine finishing. A little bit different in house painting, right? I don't really have to worry about that as much, but you do, because what's cool about this is that there's stages to cabinet refinishing. The first stage is preparation. So a level 1 apprentice would be responsible for prepping the floor, prepping the doors, prepping the countertops, prepping the kitchen. And once they get to level 2, then you let them do what? What would be level 2?
Level 2 would be like being able to spray primer.
There you go.
Do further
all right,
prepping.
But there's more to that. Configuring the spray gun, cleaning the spray gun, right? Spraying in a home, creating I mean, dude, like, that's level 2. Cool. And level 2, great. Now you're able to spray primer. What's level 3?
Level 3 would be being able to do pretty much the entire project on their own with a bit of supervision.
Way too far. Level 3 is spraying a finish coat.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, finish coat.
Well, no,
to that extent, but still under supervision.
Right. Yeah. So, hey, under supervision, you can spray the finish coat now. You've gotten to that level where you're doing it. Level 5 is degreasing and prepare, or, you know, I think level 1 and 2 would be degreasing and preparing doors, and it would be the same thing in the shop. But what it is that you gotta kind of dub this as the Sense 5 apprenticeship program. And it was very easy. Me and you talked about it for just 5 minutes, but that needs to be the outline. So the reality is, here's the deal. In business, you have one of two options. You hunt unicorns, right? Which, generally speaking, they're very hard to find. I have never seen one, okay, a real unicorn. So the analogy is to help you understand, this is very hard to do, Adam. Why wouldn't someone with your same skill set, level of care, poise in tough environments, problem-solving capabilities, why wouldn't they be running their own jobs in their own business? Right? Why? They generally would be.
Yeah.
You know? Right?
And so, even if they're not making money because they don't understand the books, it's not that they don't understand it, it's that to them it feels like they're making more.
Okay. So what's
That's what
option
they're
number
going
two?
for.
I'll let you, what do you think option number two is
Option number two for
getting quality help in your business? So if we can't hunt unicorns and find them, what's the second option?
would be partnering up with someone that's already doing
No, we're going to
No?
breed unicorns. Okay.
Breed.
That's where I'm getting at is if you have a breeding ground for unicorns, you have all the riches in the world. If you can take somebody who has good work ethic and good character and teach them the trade through your apprenticeship program, what do you think Nick Slavic does? Why do you think the guy is so successful? Exactly what I'm telling you. He created the program. He finds good people who will follow instructions. He outlines a payment plan for them to achieve the goal. And he has a breeding ground. You, Adam, are not the type of person to hand someone the keys to a Lamborghini, bro. You're not.
No.
You and I both know. Okay? But you will hand someone the keys 5 to 6 months from now if they've worked with you for that long and you understand that they know your standard. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's be realistic here. You're an employee guy. You already tried subs. You don't like it. You already have a shop, a controlled environment. So the key here is you need to outline what someone's going to go through from day 1 to month 4. It's a 4-month apprenticeship program to create a craftsperson that's able to perform a project. And guess what? Once you get someone to, let's call it level 5, I think it would make sense. What's the name of your business?
Sense 5.
So wouldn't a level 5 be the goal? It's a really good play on words, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it just works.
Yeah.
I just came up with that, right? Make it fun, right? So Sense 5, you're a level 5. You just made it. Now you get the pay, you get your own jobs, you get a little luxury, whatever that is. And then guess what? Then a level 1 comes in and works with him. And now you've created a system. And he becomes you see? So you need to anticipate when you're no longer going to be working alongside the now level 5, then he needs a level 1. And now you get to step back, Adam, and you start saying, okay, now I got to get level 1 up to par. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how you build a system. The long-standing businesses are digging roots into people and investing in people, right? That's an investment, man. You're not trying to get rich. You're just trying to make sure that your business can withstand some storms and not be relying upon, God forbid, you get sick or hurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does all that make sense?
That's exactly where I'm going with it.
So where do we go from here?
I mean, developing a process, I think really what types of questions to ask and what to look for in people.
Where we go from here, Adam, is we take action. Because here's the deal, okay? Your first round of training is probably going to suck. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to get. You don't know what the outcomes will be. Someone could go into that kitchen and botch your job and you're going to have to fix it. But guess what's going to come out of that is you're going to learn. Okay. And the time you're spending with me on here is valuable, but you could be recruiting someone right now to help you get to the point where you become a great trainer. You know, you got to see your business as an incubator, right?
My question was more directed at what types of questions do I need to ask in an interview with somebody to know?
Well, if we get to that point, Adam, we get to that point of an interview, I mean, the first thing is how good are you at not interviewing anyone that isn't worth your time? Your time right now is so stretched thin that you don't have the time. You're doing quotes with people that would pay you $10,000 over the phone because you're busy.
And that's pretty common for me.
So you think that you're going to be able to really give people who aren't even a potential hire the time of day to make a good, sound hiring decision? It doesn't start with the interview, dude. It starts with the ad. It starts with your diligence in looking at your applicants and looking into them in your downtime, which isn't very much. But again, if we're doing this, if we're trying to grow high, we got to dig deep. So it's going to require extra time, late nights, reading these applications. Then from there, it's going to require sending them to a form or some sort of place where you can garnish information outside of, what is your experience working with tools on job sites? Have you ever worked in someone's home before? Describe your work ethic. Like, these questions can be answered before you even have to sit down with someone.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, I've been doing this a long time. If you have someone on Indeed and you send them a form to fill out, most people won't even fill it out. Isn't that crazy?
And it's a huge filter, which is nice.
It's a filter. So you're taking someone through the Sense 5. There should be a Sense 5-step hiring process. You could take this to the moon, right? You could go, you can do with everything, right? The 5-point, you should, honestly, if I were your customers, why are you Sense 5? Because we have a 5-point cabinet beautification process. Come up with 5 points, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure they ask you, why is it Sense 5? And you go, well, I mean, you probably have a story, but maybe it's not related to the cabinets. So I've
been ringing it as like the awareness of the details, but I think I could do better on that for sure.
Yeah, you say it's our 5-point cabinet beautification process. Would you like me to tell you about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me first tell you our standard with our craftsmen. We take them through a 5-point apprenticeship program, right? Be that guy, Adam. You have a gift. Be that guy that can take someone who doesn't have skills and give them a skill. Teach them how to fish. It's biblical. Okay. It's a principle. You teach them how to fish. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to catch fish for your company. Don't worry if they take the skill and go somewhere else. That's not for you to concern. What you need to worry about is finding the right people to invest in, give them the tools to succeed within your organization, and you becoming a better trainer.
Yeah.
And that's going to take time, dude. Have you ever managed people truly outside of this painting business?
When I was 17, my first real management position was landscape maintenance crew, and I managed 6 people. I
love it. So you early on, 17, dude. Good for you.
Maintained all of their equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. So you're naturally a manager. Okay. But like in this realm, dude, first of all, problem here, Adam, is your reputation is very important. It's directly tied to your person. It's directly tied to you personally. It's a personal representation. Your business, your reputation is your business and Adam are intertwined right now. So, in order to scale, you've got to be willing to risk that reputation. And I think with your oversight, that won't be very risky, but that's kind of the mindset. It's like, okay, I got to bring someone in and I got to be able to let them drive this thing. How can I get them there? And you'll be there for support. You'll be there for all these things. So let's get into hiring real quick. First thing is you got to get the ad out. You've heard me say this. I know you listen to my podcast, but it's like the ad needs to be out so you can learn what to look for. You can learn how people try to play you. You can learn the things that they say, right? And you'll find your guy, or gal, your person's out there right now. Absolutely. Working for someone else that doesn't want to train them, doesn't want to teach them, doesn't want to empower them, doesn't have a plan, not a leader.
Exactly.
What questions do you have, man? Happy to help.
I think that all sounds really good. I think that's pretty much the next step, is making those processes and kind of going through that and spending the time doing that. That's not something that I put a lot of time into, but as of the last few weeks, I've been digging into processes and other people's businesses as well, and just seeing what other people are doing. And
yeah, and I love that, man. And I think here's the difference, man. I just want you, first of all, I really want to know, why are you doing this? If you look in the future, dude, what are you trying to do? Why do you really want these systems? Is there something in your personal life you're striving toward? Is it what is it?
I want to have a team that can be considered to be Edmonton's, finest wood coatings.
Good. So there's a deeply rooted desire for greatness in this realm.
Yeah. And it'll be a small business. I don't want to blow up and scale to no end. I do want to maintain the quality on it.
Sure.
within reason, of course. And,
Sure.
you know, it is a lot of risk hiring somebody, and I did bring in some people and give them that. And I was surprised with how much freedom it provided on a job site, because I wasn't used to having someone that was capable of doing that.
Right.
I had to fix like 6 doors on 2 projects, but in the end, those clients were even more happy with the project because they know that I'll stand behind the work.
Right.
And it provides that opportunity for getting a review where most people would.
I'm going to leave you with this. Adam, the difference is that you got to go in with faith and confidence as if you never had a poor experience before, because it's not fair to the new guy that they have the baggage of the old guy. And that's prohibiting you from growth. Every time I have to let someone go, I don't go into the next hire like, man, I'm going to mess this one up, or man, I'm going to get screwed over again. Every hire, I'm like, all right, this guy's going to be better than the last because I'm a better recruiter now.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to leverage that.
Was what it was really about.
What's that?
Better training, better inspections, like that.
And I
agree.
Good.
That was on me.
And we can always turn it around and say, you know what? I probably didn't have the 5-point apprenticeship program lined up, right? I probably didn't guide or force and oversee them. I probably didn't have the payroll system. I probably didn't have the things that would make them excited. I probably didn't set them up for success. So put yourself in the position of your applicant. Would you, after getting the job for Sense 5, go home to your family or whoever you spend time with and say, hey, I got the job, let's go celebrate? Or would it be, hey, well, this guy gave me a shot, we'll see how it goes? Right now, be honest, which of those two do you think people would do if they got hired right now with your company?
They would basically just wait till Monday and have them start. Really?
Right. So you're not creating that level of I got it. It's more so I got it. You know, let's see what pans out. I'm kind of uncertain. Okay. So what I want you to think about is you need to be one step ahead of your applicant and your employee. That's all. It's only one step. I've hired salespeople in drip jobs, and I didn't even have a CRM set up. I didn't have nothing set up for them, but I was just one step ahead. Hey, we're doing training tomorrow. Hey, we got this going this week. Hey, we got this. And eventually it just builds up. I don't know. I didn't have that whole plan the day I hired them. I just knew, catch this, Adam, because this is going to be a big one. I knew that because I had a committed individual that was counting on me, it was going to force me to take the actions that I failed to take.
Exactly.
And that is the leverage, Adam, that I use to grow business, is that when you know someone's counting on you, guess what you wind up doing? You either put up or shut up, and you're not going to shut up because someone's counting on you and they're your ticket to freedom.
It's like what people say about having kids.
Right. So if I told, it does. And here's the deal. If I told you, Adam, I want you to sit down after this, and I was your coach and you actually paid me for this, I'd say, Adam, sit down after this, and I want you to outline the 5, what do we call it? The 5 apprenticeship program, the 5-point apprenticeship program, 5-step or level 5. Level 5 finish. Man, you can do a lot with number 5. The level 5 apprenticeship program for Sense 5 wood coatings. And I said, sit down and do it. Your motivation level would probably taper out because you would think, man, I want it to be perfect. I don't know if this is even, it's
going to be that big.
I don't have anyone that's ever going to see this right now. And I have work to do. I got to go, Tanner. You'd probably tell me to my face, I'll do it. And then you leave. So here's the deal. You need leverage and you need action in order to make any change. The best thing you can do is put out the ad today and start getting applicants and getting closer to that feeling of it being real, that you're going to be looking for someone. In the ad, you need to outline what you're trying to do. Now, are you someone that's good at writing, or would you prefer like someone else help you with writing? And there's no wrong answer. I'm just curious because there's some tools that can help you with this.
No, I'm pretty good at writing.
Okay.
If I need like a big blurb, I can kind of like lean on AI slightly and just edit
Good.
it.
So you've used AI. Good. So with AI, what I want you to do is I would like you to go in and say, create a hiring ad for Sense 5 wood coatings that outlines a level 5 apprenticeship program for individuals that want to learn the art of wood coatings in high-end residential homes. That
Absolutely.
prompt right there is your ad. And let me tell you, that prompt alone will already filter out individuals who just want to come paint. That's going to inspire someone when they see that. Then you're going to get applicants. Then it becomes real. Then make the form once you see some applicants, because you're not going to just want to message and be like, hey, what's up? You're going to be like, hey, please fill this form out so I can learn a little bit more about you. Once you get the form, then you learn about them. And then you say, hey, I'd like to call you. When's a good time for a phone interview? Then you guys have a conversation. You tell them to meet you at the shop, or you have a coffee with them. And then now you've vetted someone 4 times before actually wasting your valuable, precious physical time that you actually don't really have much of. But at least you know that there's a chance that this could be worth it.
Absolutely.
So was that helpful, man? Do you feel like we hit on a couple of things? Did I miss anything today? Or
I think that's a good direction. I was struggling with direction on that in terms of processes. Like there's so many things I could make a process of, but I think that really
take the action, make the process.
Makes it simple and straightforward to be able to make actions.
Yeah. Good luck, man. If you want to come back, let me know. I appreciate your time, brother. Good luck to you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, my man.